Alright, welcome back. In the last two lessons, we learned how to use recoil countering and recoil smoothing to control the recoil of our guns. Just to recap, recoil countering is the process of actively opposing the specific recoil pattern of a given gun. This method is the simplest and can be done in any situation, but it isn't the most effective. Recoil smoothing, on the other hand, is a much more consistent method as it completely eliminates recoil patterns altogether. The only drawback is that it requires some level of movement between the player and the target and cannot be done at long ranges. However, there is one final and more advanced technique that can be used to control recoil in any situation: jitter aiming. Unlike recoil countering and recoil smoothing, jitter aiming can be used at any range, does not require any player movement, and fully eliminates the recoil pattern of any gun. Sounds great, right? Well, it is. The only downside is that it's difficult to learn and even more challenging to master. Let's hop into the firing range to explain. Okay, so here we are in the firing range, and as you can see, I've backed up quite a bit from these dummies here. And the reason being is that I want to demonstrate for you just how effective jitter aiming can be, especially from long ranges. So here I have a flatline with a 3x optic. This is a very popular choice for people who like to jitter aim. And you can see why it wouldn't be a popular choice if I were using recoil countering or recoil smoothing. Now, the flatline is just an extremely unruly gun. It has a very complex recoil pattern, and not a lot of people can control it with a 3x optic. Most people prefer a bruiser. But when you're jitter aiming, this becomes the perfect weapon, as it can be highly accurate even from across the map, such as this. As you can see, within one clip with no mag, no stock, I've cracked a red shield and also taken about 20 health away. So, jitter aiming can be extremely strong on weapons that have complex recoil patterns and also maybe have slower fire rates, because just like with recoil smoothing, the fire rate does determine how easily something is smoothed. If it has a slower fire rate, it's more easily smoothed. If it has a faster fire rate, you need more movement to smooth that weapon. So with jitter aiming, Spitfire, Flatline, and also my favorite, the Havoc, are incredibly good weapons for this kind of technique. Now with the Havoc, you do get a bit of a wind up beforehand, which I prefer actually, because it gives you some time to start winding up your jitter. I just hit a 188 clip from 100 meters with an AR. So as you can see, highly effective aiming technique. The only downside being that it takes some time to develop the muscle memory of generating this jitter pattern, and also it is sometimes difficult to see your target and to have an awareness of where that target is moving and what else is happening in the game when your screen is shaking so much. But over time you will get used to it. Just keep practicing and eventually you'll be beaming people from across the map as well. If you found this video helpful, give a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this, and see you in the next lesson.